What up, guys? As many of you know, I've been rather successful when it comes to real estate. I've been able to retire pretty young, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to artificially inflate the market to take that W. Okay, that's enough of Pepe. Now let me show you how to artificially inflate the market. So, firstly, what you want to do is you want to look for a depraved area, an undervalued area, close to kind of infrastructure. You don't want to be too far away from major industries like services such as hospitals, universities, yada yada. So where I bought in Tasmania, I always made sure that I'm within about a half an hour drive, 45 minutes of a big center, 30,000 people plus, because you need that. So a couple years ago, I made a purchase on 2 acres in central Tasmania, pretty close to an urban center. I don't want to give away the exact location because I ain't getting doxxed, but in terms of Australian real estate, it was severely undervalued. You cannot go anywhere in fucking Australia within a 45-minute drive of a big center for getting 2 acres for $28,000, $30,000. You just can't. So I knew that it was undervalued at the time when I bought it, but how was I going to increase the value? Well, the good thing about the area I bought, right, there was only about 3 properties on the market at the time because it's so small. And then once they sold off, I just jacked up my price. I set the fucking market. That's how I did it, right? So I bought this place for $30,000, okay? A few months later, I advertised it for $60,000. I was getting inquiries. I put it up to $90,000. I'm getting inquiries. And I'll show you the inquiries I get. So originally, I doubled the price. I put it on Gumtree, which is a free site in Australia, and it's a very bad site if you're trying to sell real estate. I don't think serious buyers really look there, and the ones that do look there tend to not have the money to be buying real estate. So I got a bunch of inquiries like this, like, hey, I'll give you $80,000, I'll give you $100,000, but $200 a week for 20 years or something like that. So then I contacted a real estate agent and I was like, I'll accept $70,000. I'm doubling my money, I can cash out. And that would have been a silly mistake because just a month and a half later, once I put it up on an actual real estate site, which I'll tell you in the video later, I got an offer for $80,000 off this woman here. And what happened was she was serious. She paid a deposit, we were going to buy, and she had 1 dog over the council limit. So if she had have bought that property, she would have had to apply for a kennel license. And if you apply for a kennel license, the neighbors can object, and then she wouldn't have been able to bring her dogs. So I thought, her mother just died. She's about the same age as my mom. This is her first property she's ever going to buy. I'm not going to screw her, so I just gave her her deposit back, and we just called it a day. So when a potential buyer messages you, it's sales time. You need to convince this person, but they'd be missing out if they didn't buy it. So you got to sell all the points. No building restriction, zoned village residential, so subdevelopments may be possible. So you always want to look for a good title if you have a bit of land. Nice flat block of land, okay, that's good for building, it's cheaper. Fixed road frontage, that's very good to have paved road, and a long frontage means that subdivisions are easier. You just want to throw in as many selling points as you can. I'm half an hour from a big city called Burnie, which is a major hub for shopping, education, and healthcare. Are you familiar with Tasmania? Because a lot of people that buy in Tasmania are interstate. If you buy and build in Tasmania, you get $10,000 to $30,000 building grant. Free money! Tell them about that free money. At the moment, the last offer I got was about $90,000. All right. Actually, I've had an offer over $100,000, but that was just like a 1 inquiry. Actually, that's not true. I've had 2 offers over $100,000 in the past few months. That's why I'm not stressed about selling for less than $100,000, and I'm going to tell you why I won't sell for less than $100,000 at the end of this video. And then I had another inquiry. This guy was very serious. He really, really wanted this property. He even went down to Tasmania after I showed him the video to check it out. That's how much he wanted this property. He had the finance approved, but this is where it backfired big time on me. You see, the issue is that he had to go to a bank. The banks are very thorough. They look at past sales and they'll be like, this 3 times increase in price in the past few years seems a bit sketchy, right? So they didn't approve his finance because there wasn't enough data to justify it. So what I really do need is a cash buyer, and there are plenty of cash buyers out there. A lot of people just have $100,000, they get inheritance like that woman, boom, $100,000. Or maybe they just need to get $20,000 from from the bank, and they don't really care at that point because it's only 20 grand. Obviously, the land value is worth more than that. So this is how the price went up. When you buy in an area and there's not much competition, you can set the market. So when those cheaper blocks sold off, when I bought, I just waited a few months and I just jacked up the price. And there was no other comparable properties on the market, right? So the next sellers that came on that also had a couple of acres to sell, they looked at mine and they're like, maybe we can get like 80, 100,000. And they've jacked up their price. I swear to God, this was me alone that increased this entire suburb by about 3 times. So now I'll show you some offers that I've got and a tip that I think is very important, right? There's no rush to sell. I pay maybe like $300-400 a year in rates and land tax. It's nothing. I will hold on to this for 10 years if I have to. Not that I want to. I think I'm gonna sell it within a year. But my point is that offers don't have to come consistently. You can have an overpriced property and it just takes the right person to come along. One person to come along, make an offer, boom, you sell it. That's it. I could have sold it for 90,000 already, but I know I can get more. So why would I? And that's the thing, is you can set the market. And how am I confident that I'll get more offers but there's still interest? Because what I did is I paid for a site called Property Now. It's $700 lifetime. I can have this property on the market. I can change the price. I can edit the ads. It's on realestate.com. It's on Domain. These are the biggest real estate websites in Australia. So what I did is I made a YouTube video, and I made the YouTube video private, so you had to click on the link. The only way to watch this YouTube video that I made of the property that I've got is clicking the link, and I can see the analytics. And the same way that I posted the analytics before, I'll post them here in this video. There's like 4 people that watch it every day. Those are 4 potential buyers every day. So I'm not stressed because I know that someone's gonna come along and they're just gonna buy it. Because there's still people looking, there's still interest. And that's a good way to gauge interest, is make a video, private that video, and have it only accessible from your real estate ad. Anyway guys, when it comes to buying real estate and buying property, I am kind of a long-term guy, right? I like to buy on the urban fringes. So if you look at where I bought in Hobart, it's about 20 minutes from the city. As the urban sprawl approaches more and more, it's just going to jack up the price of my land because I have a selling point then. I have 20 acres. I can subdivide that in the future and sell it off to suburbia. And my brother's got the same. My older brother, he's got like 3 acres. He's only about 20 minutes from Hobart. And literally, he's got 3 acres down the hill from his house is suburbia. He bought that for $250,000 in about 2012, and now I'd say it's at least $750,000, and that's just land value because the house is like a tiny house. That's what you want to look at, is land value. Houses don't really have an intrinsic value. Like, they've got the cost of lumber, they've got the cost of bricks, but that's it. That doesn't really go up in price the same way that land does. So why won't I sell? Why won't I budge from 100 grand? Well, it's to pay tribute to my boy Mac Miller, and also I've had a couple days in my life where I've earned 100 grand in one day. Like, I've had some big payouts, and boom, it's a nice feeling. But mainly it's to pay homage to my boy.
Yeah, back when I first made 100 grand.